Hi everyone, it's Simon Keeling here at weatherweb.net and it is Sunday the 17th of May. Thanks again for watching. This is your look ahead video. Just a quickie for you today, bringing you up to date on the idea of high pressure being in at the end of next week. This is the 7 to 10 day mean of the 500 millibar flow, valid from next Sunday through to Wednesday the 27th. So we've got ECMWF here, we've got GFS here, and we've got the Canadian here. And you notice how the ECMWF look is still the more bullish of the models for bringing in that ridge of high pressure during this period. GFS is kind of in between the two, but the Canadian really wants to stick with the idea of keeping the ridge out in the Atlantic and really developing the trough off towards the east. And it's that trough off towards the east that becomes critical next week. You see here, this is the ECMWF forecast for next Saturday, and we've got a ridge here in the flow, 500 millibars here, but look, here's the trough off towards the east, and there it is. There's a cold feature here, cold cutoff into central parts of Europe, bringing some really disturbed and unsettled weather across those central southern parts of Europe, particularly across southern parts of Germany, through much of Italy, through Switzerland, through southern parts of France. Some really heavy bursts of rain are likely there at the end of this week into next weekend. Now what we're watching for is for the second trough to get in and dig in colder air here, which strengthens the trough across Central Europe, and the ECMWF is the one making the least of that trough. This is the GFS ensemble forecast running forwards from the 23rd. So here we are, Saturday. We then go into Sunday here, and so on. And you notice here, look, cold air coming around the back of the ridge here on the GFS really sharpens the axis of this trough across Europe. And eventually what the GFS ensemble wants to do is to build the ridge off in the Atlantic, bring the flow more into a northwesterly, pump down the cold air all the time across Central Europe, maintaining the unsettled conditions here, but also trying to bring in some more unsettled weather across northern and eastern parts of the UK. You can see it here particularly as we head out into 10 days and into the 11th day, but by 11.5 days and 12 days it tries to bring it back more into its default westerly setting. But I think what's critical here is just to watch and see how that trough develops across central parts of Europe. And really what's going to be most important for that is the build of the ridge out in the Atlantic. We need to watch that to see how strong that ridge becomes, because that will have a knock-on effect as to how strong the ridge is in Europe and the impact that it has through the British Isles. Temperature-wise, well, we're going to see a cool few days ahead, but look, temperatures starting to pick up at the end of the weekend into next weekend as well. Yes, they're forecast to come off after that as the winds return more into a northwesterly, as we've just seen on the GFS ensemble, but kind of treat this bit here with a bit of a pinch of salt. It all depends on how that high gets in, or rather how the high builds. Okay, I'll leave you with that for now. Don't forget you can watch our premium video for a detailed forecast and explanation of our June forecast. That's available right now via weatherweb.net or on YouTube. But for now, whatever you're doing, thanks again for watching. Keep the sun shining, and bye for now.